Do you want to do shot right away? Do you want to wait a little bit?
Let's do one right away.
I'm going to do one right away? As in there's going to be more?
I didn't say that.
Okay. It seemed to...
Did you want to talk about The Godfather first?
No, I don't care.
Give a fuck.
No, I don't care either. I just look to see what you're saying. Although I guess once or twice I've been like, I wanted to talk about the other one.
You do. Quite often.
That's not true.
Practically every time.
Stop.
It's embarrassing.
What are we gonna shoot, bro?
Oh yeah. So did you see the flavors? I got the root beer. I got black cherry, strawberry, watermelons, plural.
What?
Strawberries. Oh, weird. But only. Oh, it's espresso coffee, not root beer. It's probably worse.
Yeah. I like that you're intrigued.
And peaches.
Okay,
I think we've had before.
Whatever's cool, man. Oh, are we doing the same kind? Is there 2 of each?
Oh, I thought we would just do all 5 of them.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's 2 each. I didn't put that in the picture because I thought that'd be self-evident.
Yeah. Is there one you want to try?
I kind of feel like maybe doing the worst one first.
Is coffee flavored?
Yeah, but...
Fucking Jesus.
It's got hot coffee on the...
A little steamy boy.
Let's do the watermelon.
Okay, I almost had that open.
I had watermelon earlier today and yesterday.
We have watermelon chopped up in the fridge right now.
I bought a watermelon and chopped it up. It was like this big.
Oh, one of the baby melons. Was it cheap, though?
I think it was at or under $5. Is that cheap? It was at Lund's.
And you said it was about that big?
Yeah. Maybe the size of that pink balloon with the face facing us.
That's okay.
I don't know how much stuff costs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't have to pay attention to prices.
I should, but I don't.
I'm trying to be a little more price conscious. All right. Arrivederci.
The watermelon flavor
Not hiding the
made it
alcohol.
feel even hotter in my mouth. I didn't even hit the wall. God damn, that was... Ooh. Oh, yeah. They got to work that one out. Worst one?
No, it's in there, though. The one we had was real bad. It was pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Well, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And this is brought to you by 99 Bananas. And we doing filmographies. Okay, Jules, what are we talking about tonight?
We're on John Cazale's second movie.
Are we going in order? Okay. Godfather, number 1. The Conversation, number 2. I was correct.
You were.
Yep.
You're always right.
I am always right.
This movie's rated PG.
Is it really?
Yeah. Because they didn't have PG-13, I don't think, at the time.
Right.
And it wasn't hard enough to go R.
Is there not a lot of curse words? Is it mainly just saying
very
Lord's
little.
name in vain and whatnot?
Yeah.
God damn it and Jesus
a little
Christ.
bit of blood and...
The blood, it's disturbing,
some violence.
though.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
When I was watching it on Amazon, it was 7+ was the rating.
Oh.
So...
Jack is over 7.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll watch The Conversation tomorrow.
Put his ass right to sleep. The tagline for this is, Harry Call will go anywhere to bug a private conversation.
Yeah. Is that really a good... That's a tagline?
Mm-hmm. It's like, first off, who's Harry Call, right? You don't put the character's name in the tagline.
Yeah.
For the movie that I haven't seen yet. I probably hadn't even seen a trailer. I probably just read about this in the newspaper. Oh, there's a new Gene Hackman movie out, right?
I was calling him Hackman and Jenny and I were watching it.
New picture's out. Gene Hackman actually went on to say that this was his favorite role.
Really?
In a film.
That's interesting.
And
man, he does some great face acting in this movie.
Absolutely. He actually learned how to play the saxophone for this as well.
I like this movie.
And Francis Ford Coppola says this is his personal favorite of his movies.
Do you know anything about his overcoat? What's up with that? It's a plastic covering for his coat that is shaped like a coat and still has all the coat features?
I assume it's a raincoat.
Yes, but when are they ever transparent?
I don't know. It's a really weird, because it's more like a yellow rain slicker material.
But see-through.
That perfectly fits around his suit jacket.
Yes, it has like the lapels and everything and the like fake buttons.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It almost seems like the kind of trait that you would find in a movie. God, there was a movie I watched where a guy had been wrongly convicted of a crime. And so thereafter...
The Fugitive.
Yeah. He had one arm.
No, he didn't.
And thereafter, he rigged his entire apartment with cameras. And he walks around with a body cam and a face cam and shit.
What the fuck is this? Is it good?
He shaves off all of his body hair. He clips his nails really short so he doesn't... in a position where they could say, oh, we found evidence of you in this other crime.
Is this a shitty movie?
It's lower budget. I think it's British. I couldn't tell you what the fuck it's called, man.
Freeze frame. It's it.
So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's wearing the coat because, he doesn't want to leave evidence.
No.
But that's never...
I think it's a coat cover.
I think he just likes it.
But it's stylish.
Because he's on the spectrum, right? Before there was a spectrum. You think?
No.
You don't think? He really clams up when they kind of rib him personally at the party.
I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay. He's a weird guy.
He is weird. I think he's so into what he does and invading privacy and being so incredibly good at it that like he is the exact opposite pole within inside himself, where everything has to be a secret and hidden. I mean, maybe that's childhood baggage, but it just seems to be he's utterly horrified that anybody will get any information out of him that he isn't giving, and he doesn't give it.
That.
Yeah,
there is that, but
and the ribbing. I mean, boy, is he horrified that a private, intimate moment was captured.
Well, yes,
that's like the biggest violation he's ever experienced. Which is, I assume, do you think he even?
Well, then he's even more violated later.
Yeah. Do you think he frames that in context of like he does that to people all the time? Or do you think he doesn't even think of that? Because he's not really a good guy.
No. I think it's hard to say if it's pride. A little bit of pride, a little bit of the embarrassment. The moment he finally relinquishes and gives up some personal detail, it immediately blows up in his face.
Yeah, I think that he spent his whole life removing himself and any trace of him from anywhere.
Because moments before that, he's uncomfortably bragging, right? He's really oversharing because he's puffed up a little bit.
Yeah, I was really confused by this whole sequence of events when this happens. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the guy. What is he doing?
And it doesn't seem like he would invite all of those people back.
To his secret
to his
lair?
Right, exactly. Good word usage. Because he's had issues with John Cazale, who is probably the closest thing he has to another person of any kind in his life, aside from Terry Garr.
Oh, and that cop that he
and the cop guy, yeah. But that seems mostly business. The cops,
they know nothing of him. Some people know of his past a little bit, specifically that guy that snoops on him. We should pray.
Yeah, let's do the synopsis.
You got some more facts, figures, dances?
Other than Francis had written the outline for this movie in 1966, but he couldn't get financing until The Godfather became the biggest success of all time.
Did he do anything before The Godfather?
I don't know. We're not doing him.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Francis?
bother to look.
Harry Call, Gene Hackman, is a private, secretive man with a penchant for translucent raincoats. Even his presumed love interest, Amy, Terry Garr, knows next to nothing about him, nor does she seem all that put off by being 20 years his junior, or the fact that she is pretty sure he is spying on her phone calls, to say nothing of the lurking, leering, and stalking. Harry is a legend in the bugging and surveillance community, and is considered the top of his game in the eyes of his associate, Stan, John Cazale, and direct competitor Bernie Morin, Alan Garfield. But when Harry is tapped to eavesdrop on two possible philanderers by a mysterious director, Robert Duvall, and his right-hand crony, Martin Stett, Harrison Ford, his past comes back to haunt his future and things begin to slowly unravel like a ball of wax.
Yep. 2 thumbs up on that one.
The Conversation, 1974.
So, yeah. This is still, I do still think this is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I think the thing is, I bet you I watched this, I was thinking about this.
I bet.
I think I watched this around the time that I had seen Parallax View and 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, I haven't seen either of those.
And so I'm like, which was, I probably watched those because of JFK. And so I'm like, oh yeah, intrigue, and he's eavesdropping. And although that does come back, it's not as much like intrigue about the actual bugging.
No.
So much as it is just this guy. It's a character study.
Yeah, it's very minimalistic too. It's very muted. Boy, Francis Ford Coppola, he makes a good-looking movie.
He really understands how to take your time. There's countless scenes where somebody's left the frame and the camera just slowly finds its way back to them at the exact moment it needs to be there. And you're like, whoa, Even the opening is pretty masterful.
That's the park with, is that Laverne or Shirley?
It's Shirley.
Cindy Williams
God,
is
she's
Shirley.
so cute.
She's cute.
So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, where is this? And then I saw him cross a street and I got the street signs. I'm like, oh, this is San Francisco.
Oh, this isn't New York? Oh my God, I thought it was New York the whole time.
No, and later on, I mean, if you know anything about the sort of layout of the Oakland and Golden Gate bridges.
Here we go again, guys.
As well as the the downtown area for San Francisco, specifically that triangulated building. But they also, when he goes to the director's office, it's in the Embarcadero Center or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's all there, Jason.
I don't know. I've never been there.
When he looks at the license plate of the blue sedan, it's a California plate.
Damn, that's your move. I was going to say, there we go again, but that episode where you talk about San Francisco a lot isn't coming out for a while. So they just think I'm a dick now.
I left my heart
in little Tokyo.
and my wallet in El Segundo.
I found a lady's head.
Yeah, man. So it kicks off with, you don't know what's happening. You're getting weird sounds.
Robot voices, like when we recorded some of those episodes.
Yeah, like
where we got the robot
like
voices.
we're doing Sleeping Beauties.
Yeah.
Cracking jokes. It's always the jokes that get lost. It's never the bullshit. It's always the fucking jokes. So you're like, what's going on? The camera's like overlooking this park promenade plaza. You're just trying to, what? And they're talking. You can kind of hear it, but then they go behind someone and it gets all weird and shit. And then slowly it unfolds and you see a guy perched up on top of a building with a shotgun mic.
I thought he had a gun.
It's a very long shotgun mic.
I thought somebody was going to get shot.
Could very well have been the case.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy milling around the crowd. There's a mime.
I thought that might be Robin Williams for a minute.
I thought that might be John Cazale.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh yeah, that's John Cazale. Hey, elbowed Callie. That's John. Right there. I bet you $1 million.
Too much hair.
Yeah. She really does not like the shape of his head.
The shape of his head is fine. It's that crowning of his hair.
He's kind of a brainiac. It gets bulbous at the top past the...
But isn't that just because of his crazy hair?
I think if he had the hair, it would hide it better.
He looks good in that short film when he has it all.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
hair is wildly unfortunate. It's crazy.
Yeah. It just feels like that's what happened at the time with guys.
Yeah.
That receding 5-head gets in there.
Yeah.
And then all you can do is chew 5 gum.
They didn't have that back then, so that's what's up with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he died.
Yeah, back then they probably just had 2 gum.
Oh, Meryl Streep's not listening.
I hope not. She will fuck us up. Shit.
Oh my God, somebody's kicking in the door.
I'm Meryl Streep. We're talking about my husband.
You also see Gene Hackman sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's Hackman. Did you see the guy next to him, too? Just chilling in the puffy coat, the young man?
Is it a yellow coat?
I thought it was a big blue one.
Okay, I didn't.
Frizzy hair. So there's just a guy sitting next to him. And I was thinking to myself, is this what parks are for? Like, people just go there and they go sit on the bench and just go look?
Mm-hmm.
Look out into the distance?
Yeah.
I don't ever do that.
I mean, I felt like, there is a lot of activity there, right?
Yeah.
There's a guy playing an instrument or something. There's the mime. There's hippies. There's a bum. It kind of feels like this would maybe be where people go to eat their lunch.
Right. But also just sit there and stare off into the distance. Maybe
Yeah.
you're waiting to meet somebody. I didn't feel like that guy was doing that.
It's also Christmas. Is it?
I don't know.
They're talking about a gift. Maybe it's his birthday.
Did you think that bum might be dead?
I did.
I was like, ooh, is this going to be the revelation? The murder was in plain sight the whole time?
Yeah.
No.
She goes, oh, that's so sad. And so you get a little bit of what's going on, but once he goes back to his lair, the cop gets made, by the way. He comes into the van. Oh, they made me. John's like, yeah, I heard.
She's looking at me. She's looking at me.
And John's always like,
sometimes it's nice to know what they're talking about.
Gene Hackman's like,
I don't care what they're talking about. All I want is a nice fat recording.
it's not our job.
So are they not hearing the conversation? They're just recording it?
I assume they have to be hearing something. You would think that,
To know that you're picking up on it.
well, and also you'd think there'd be like some dials or knobs or something that they would be adjusting in real time to try to do the frequency. But then he does
seems to do that later?
Yeah.
We never meet the person with the shotgun mic?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we ever... Was there another person doing that too? Something similar to that, or no?
No, I think it was just the shotgun mic. The cop had a mic in his gift bag, which I think was Christmas themed. And maybe the other mic was on the van.
Maybe.
Because there's 3 sources, but I don't know what.
For triangulation?
And so they get back to the lair, and he's running the tapes through like a simul loop or something, where it's like each one is synced, and he's playing them, and he's just bouncing between them, trying to find which one at that moment has the best sound or frequency.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
And John Cazale's kind of like, oh man, this is some wacky shit. And he's like,
Tell me something about your past, Harry.
yeah, confide in me.
Please?
Emotionally.
Do you have a mom?
He goes, God damn it.
Your work's getting sloppy.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of looking at you.
You broke my heart.
Oh, damn. Oh.
And he goes, yeah, fuck you, man. I'm out of here.
I ain't going in no boat.
And he jumps on his scooter and he drives out. So then Hackman, I believe, then next does he go see Terry Garr first? Or does he go to deliver the tape? I feel like he goes to see Terry Garr first.
Yes.
Because he needs some whatever he gets from her.
Strange.
And so she's just hanging out, and he approaches her apartment and he's kind of like leering down the steps. Oh, at some point he gets into a phone argument of sorts with his landlord.
Oh, yeah. She says happy birthday to him when he's walking by her on the stairs.
And I think she leaves something in his apartment.
His mail. That's why she knows it's his birthday. He has a card. Now, Julian.
Yeah.
He has 3 separate locks to get into his apartment.
Right.
And an alarm system.
Yeah.
First of all, it's pure insanity because it's an apartment building.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you would have an alarm system in an apartment building. How is she getting past those 3 locks? He put 2 of those in.
That's just it. He goes,
Well, yes. I thought I had the only key. Well, what emergency could possibly... All right. Yes. See, I would be perfectly happy to have all my personal things burned up in a fire because I don't have anything personal. Nothing of value. No, nothing personal except my keys, you see.
So you think he's autistic? Wait. Not neurotypical?
yeah, I don't know. He goes to see Terry Garr, and he's leering down her staircase, and he secretly unlocks the door, and she's just in there on the bed in a teddy eating wafers or something. How do you think they met?
I don't know. He was following her.
Some 20-year-old dame and some 40-year-old bug guy who's not into people somehow, and he's just like, oh, hey, and she goes, how's your day? He goes, don't ask me questions.
I don't even want to tell you my name.
She goes, it's weird.
Sometimes you come over here and you don't tell me. Once I saw you up by the staircase hiding, watching for a whole hour.
And sometimes you put the key in and you open it up real slow, and then you throw the door open like you're trying to catch me doing something. Like, what's up with that? He goes, I'm just going to start kissing on you.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, where do you live? He goes, oh, God. You just killed my boner.
Yep.
I'm leaving. She goes, well, if you leave,
I'm not going to wait for you.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll be back. And he leaves. And then he calls her later, and the line's changed?
I don't remember.
So he does call her at some point, and something happens that sort of suggests that she did, in fact,
Move on.
I'm sorry, but you have reached a disconnect.
So he leaves. And so then the next day or whatever, he goes to the director's office, whatever that means. We don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, director of a company.
Something. Maybe he's a film director.
I don't think that's it.
You know, the crux of the tape seemed to suggest that the woman and the man are having an affair
And
or
it's
doing
his wife?
something, possibly his wife, which he does then learn. But it seems like they're fearful of him.
Yeah, he's going to have him killed.
Right. And so when he goes to the office, the director isn't in, but Harrison Ford is.
He's like, I got your money right here.
He
15
goes,
grand.
Yeah, he goes, oh, hey, I got to go get your money. There's some cookies on my desk my wife made for Christmas. Have one. They're really good.
She made him with her breast milk.
So he picks up a cookie.
Just kidding, it's piss.
He sniffs it. He goes, that's pee-pee.
Yep.
And he puts it back down. And then he's looking out the window through a telescope. And he goes, oh, you see anything interesting? And he comes back and he goes, what? Oh, I don't know. And so Harrison Ford grabs the envelope with the tapes and he gives him an envelope full of money. So he goes, where the fuck's the director, man? And he goes, he's out of the country, actually. And so he goes, well, I was supposed to actually give it to him directly. He goes, well, I mean, it's the same thing, you know. And he goes,
I am him. Him is me.
So then he walks over to the desk and he actually throws the cookie back in the bin after he's been pawing it this whole time.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, maybe I'll just come back. He throws the money down, grabs the envelope. Harrison Ford grabs it. Oh, they're tugging at it. Hey, man, you don't want to fuck with this.
Now, look. Don't get involved in this, Mr. Cole. Those tapes are dangerous.
Harrison Ford's so young.
He's super young. He's actually quite handsome in here.
He did quite a few movies before he became Han Solo. And it always seemed like, I'm just a carpenter. I didn't even want to be in movies. Oh, yeah? What about those 12 other fucking movies you were in before that?
What about? Exactly.
Yeah, liar.
So he goes, hey, Gene Hackman, don't get involved in this, brother.
You don't want to crack open a can of this.
Mm-hmm. Don't. He grabs it and he goes, I'm getting out of here. All right. And then he follows him down to the lobby. And while Gene's waiting for the elevator, you can see Harrison at the end of the hallway holding the envelope up. Like, come on, man.
I actually found it quite scary when he gets in that elevator. I was like, I thought about how vulnerable you are going into an elevator. Like,
True.
Who can come in there and kill you? He
Yeah.
could be at any floor you go to.
Or anybody can be.
Yeah, there's
You
no
know?
protection.
You ever seen that scene in Captain America when he fights those guys in the elevator?
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Or in Die Hard 3 when he fights those guys in the elevator?
What was the lottery number last night? You guys play lottery? No? My wife buys me 2 tickets every week. The last 10 years, plays the same 2 numbers all the time. I say, hey, why don't you play a different number? She goes, well, those are my lucky numbers.
Or that movie where the devil's in the elevator.
Why don't you sit your creepy ass down in the corner over there? We can all keep an eye on you.
Yeah. You never know.
Right.
But who gets on?
Just regular people? No, Cindy?
The
No.
regular people and Shirley.
Yeah.
She gets on too, and he goes, I was following you. I guess also at this point, when he gets on, there's 3 buttons pressed, and then when she gets on, there's only 1 pressed.
Jesus Christ, Julie.
So he's like, what the hell's going on here?
What's wrong with these buttons? Is there a
Yeah.
short in the wiring?
Yeah.
There must be a listening device in there.
Does he then see the guy? Does the guy get on?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't either. So then he goes to the convention.
Yeah.
I was wondering if any of the shit that we're seeing in this movie is like actual stuff.
Are you thinking about that phone device where you blow the thing in and press the last number
Yeah.
and then they can tap your phone like that?
That seemed awfully specific.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
Me either.
I've never seen this device done before in a movie that people are just like listening
It's
to
so
an
convoluted
empty
too,
room.
it doesn't make any sense.
It's awesome. I
Super
like
awesome.
it. Yeah.
So he's looking at cameras and such, and he sees Harrison Ford. He's like, oh shit. Right?
One of the weirdest things about this movie is how all of the technology is like so outdated.
Oh, God,
It's like,
yeah.
oh man, check out these closed circuit television cameras.
This camera zooms?
Fucking amazing in black and white. Check out that quality.
Yeah, right?
When memories move with them with a Kodak XL movie camera for movies without movie lights, or the Kodak Ectosound movie camera for movies that talk.
And then he sees John Cazale, who's working. So there's a guy who he runs into an old man who knows who he is. And he makes a device similar to the thing with the phone calls. And he goes, oh, yeah, this other guy stole my idea.
Moran E27 is a copy. I won't let him even smell my equipment anymore.
And then he runs into that guy, Moran. I don't know.
William P. Moran.
And he goes, hey, Harry, you're about to check this out. And he starts, everybody, look at me. And this is how my device works. You call this number.
If anybody's on the spectrum, it's this guy.
And before you hit the last number, you blow in this thing. And then you hit the last number. And now, instead of calling, your phone is a microphone. You can hear their conversations.
Doesn't it also ring on the other end?
I thought so. Maybe.
The phone will not ring in the target's house.
But why would it ring?
Because you typed in the number.
So then you're just listening. Is it broadcasting even if the phone's hung up? I thought it just took calls.
No, I think it just turns the receiver into a microphone. But I thought that, like,
Okay.
like you could just hear it, like the line's activated.
Right. So, but then if it makes the call, then they pick up hello and nobody's there and you hang up.
But it stays open.
So then you can hear calls or anything in the room. I wasn't clear on that.
Oh, I thought anything in the room. It just
Okay.
works like, if you left your phone in the room and were playing your saxophone over in the corner, it would hear your saxophone.
So, hey, Harry, this cop guy that knows you, we're going to go get some drinks and hang out, man. Why don't you come with us? And he's just like, I got to talk to John Cazale real quick.
I kind of thought like his buddying up with everybody was maybe he didn't want to be alone because Harrison Ford is stalking him now.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
But then he falls back and he goes to talk to John Cazale. Maybe it's before that. And he goes, hey, man, look, I'm sorry I was a dick.
I just want to brush your hair.
Harrison Ford's following me. I need your help with some stuff. And he's like, yeah, okay. So then I guess they all go out. The lady that was doing the showroom modeling for Moran, some other lady.
That old lady. Who the fuck is that old lady?
I don't know. It feels like she keeps like phasing in and out. She's there when they need somebody there, and then she's not there at all. Because I'm like, why are there 4 men in this room with this one woman?
Does anybody need a sandwich?
Yeah.
I can make you a sandwich.
So then they go back to Harry's lair, and they're drinking, and he's hiding his schematics.
Tell him about the time you put the bug in the parakeet.
And now Moran starts showboating a little bit, talking about how he heard that he had done some job for a Teamster or something. And it was impossible. It was an impossible job. So how did you do it? How'd you do it?
Harry's a bit too modest to tell us how he did it, though.
But it seems antagonistic. Almost like maybe the guy that he got busted or whatever was somehow related in either blood or business dealings with Moran.
You can draw your own conclusions, Harry.
Oh, I didn't get that at all. I thought that Moran was, he didn't like being number 2, and he just had to really crack the case of how he was able to bug that boat.
That is exactly what it was, but for a brief moment there when the conversation strays into joking asides, he brings it back and he really is drilling in on it. So I thought, oh, maybe he's involved or something. But apparently he did a job where 2 people got killed as a result of his recording.
And a little kid, I think. Wasn't it
his family, his wife and kid, exactly. I don't remember what the hell happened.
3 people were murdered, that's all.
He somehow exposed the guy.
The president of this Teamster local back east set up a phony welfare fund.
So then he changes the subject and he's like, well, this is what we've been working on recently.
Hackman's really playing it off like it doesn't bother him at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just business. It's just what I do.
Yeah. I just make the tapes. It's not my fault.
What they do with the tapes is their own business.
I feel like there's a little bit of an ice picking in the back of his brain being like, no, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. You fucked up.
Yeah. Perhaps his lifestyle has allowed him to, through his control, compartmentalize that. Because he's an extremely religious man.
Yeah, that was a weird thing, too.
Out.
That doesn't jibe with being okay with this murder and being like, I'm just doing my work. Like,
right.
I'm a devout Catholic. I work for Hitler. I don't do you, but the death directly related to you? Nope, I still go to church every Sunday.
Right.
My analogies are always garbage. I apologize. Jenny makes fun of me all the time.
No, I think they're quite apt.
Thank you. Oh my God. I'm going to cut that out and give it to her.
Good. Fuck. And so John Cazale's laying out the job that we've seen they've already just done. How would you do it? Well, I would do that. Well, you can't, actually.
Yeah, this is kind of great.
Well, I would do that. Well, actually, no. And they need this and they need that. And he's just like...
Take at least 4 passes.
And then Gene Hackman just bursts into the room.
I did it in 3. Got 3-stage directional microphones with MOSFET amplifier of my own design. Then we got another 20% conventionally. Just tailing. It was a work of art.
The whole time, the guy's just like, man, we should partner up, you know, show me your designs. And he slipped a pen into his pocket as a souvenir. So now he's isolated, Gene Hackman, with the lady that works for Moran. And she's coming on to him a little bit, you know.
And they're off in that wildly cavernous warehouse room, like separate from wherever they were earlier, where you drive your scooter around or whatever.
Well, because he's got this whole floor.
It's amazing.
But
I think he might have the whole building.
Quite possible. If he was smart, he would.
Yeah.
But then he's got just this little caged area with his lair workstation.
It's amazing. So it's like he uses 5% of the level.
Mm-hmm. And so she's coming on pretty strong, but it does seem quite tender.
She seems sweet. Like she's keyed into him and likes him for whatever reason.
And she's like, so tell me about yourself, you know? And he goes,
let me tell you about a girl I love that I won't tell her my secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she can't be with me. Would she still be with me?
Yeah. And she goes, I don't reckon.
If you were her, you be with me?
How would I know? How would I know that he loved me?
Yeah, and so then the party spills out. Somebody's riding a scooter around, and they're having a good laugh. And then they're back in the cage, and the guy pulls out like a mini tape recorder, and he goes, oh, hey, check this out. And he starts playing Gene Hackman's conversation.
Sucking on my titties like you...
This tender, open-hearted conversation, the only time he's opened up to anybody in probably 30 years.
Yeah, and what the... You know, he's pantsed.
He's ready to fucking murder them all.
Yeah, he is. And he goes, yeah, fucker, I put that pen in your jacket. Remember that asshole? It's a pipe. Or a mic.
It's a pipe.
It's a crack pipe.
Yes.
Hit it. One of us. And he goes, it's a mic, you shitter. And so he goes, what the fuck? And he keeps playing the fucking tape. It's like, dude, he's talking about feelings and shit.
This isn't funny.
No.
I think that he would have been upset no matter what was on there because you secretly recorded him, and that's his number one nightmare, I think.
Had it have just been something inane or stupid, I think he would have been pissed.
He might have made you leave, but he wouldn't have flipped out.
He may not even have made you leave. He may have just been like taking his drubbings and been like, all right, Morin.
Good one. I will keep this
I'll
pen.
never work with you now, but...
He never would have worked with him anyways.
No, but I mean, you know, you put a definitive point on that. And so, yeah, and John Cazale's just like, oh, shit. And he goes, I want you all to get the fuck out of here. Damn it. I'm the enemy of the state.
Either very smart or incredibly stupid.
So they leave, you know, but she sticks around and she's like, oh, I'm going to take care of you, baby. And he's just catatonic.
Well, yeah, what the fuck? He's sitting there listening to tapes?
Yeah. And then
Does she fuck him?
She does. She puts him in bed and he's just laying there weeping.
He doesn't seem sexual
She gets
at all.
naked.
Even though he's got these ladies,
well,
he doesn't seem sexual.
What about his demeanor at this point makes you want to have sex with him?
Right.
He's just locked up, you know, and she
That
lays him in
mustache,
bed
dude.
and he's just laying there.
I need Mr. Mustache inside me.
So she gets naked and we see a little bit of her body.
It looks nice.
And they have sex, apparently, or something.
You just hear like a lot of real wet squishing sounds.
You're breaking the ribs.
It goes on for 55, 60 minutes. It's an odd choice, but I was there with it.
Yeah.
You know? And he wakes up. Whatever your name is. Whatever your name is.
Karen.
And he gets up with a sheet wrapped around him. And he's like, where the fuck is this broad? You know? She's not there. My tapes. And they're gone too.
Yep.
It was a ruse.
Right. So Moran was in on this too, right? Moran finally got over on him?
Unless Harrison Ford planted her with Moran.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't
You'd
either.
have to hire Moran.
But then why would Moran... he's just delivering the tapes because he's a bugger too?
Well, and I mean that tech at the end with the phone call at the end. That's his technology, right?
Well, it could have been the old man's too.
Sure, but I don't think so based on this section.
So the tapes are gone. Bitch, he says.
He does, yeah.
Bitch. Because he's listened to the tapes religiously. In fact, it's playing while she's trying to seduce him. And he keeps hearing that bit, about they're going to meet at a hotel.
Jack Tar Hotel.
On a specific day and time.
Sunday, definitely.
3 o'clock, room 773.
And also, he would kill us if he had the chance.
Kill us if he got the chance.
And so now he's like, all right, I'm about to go talk to the director because he finally gets the call. So he goes up to the office. Did this already happen?
It must have.
Or he goes to the office?
Yeah, the tapes.
Because Robert Duvall's listening to the tapes.
Or no, this didn't happen. This does happen now. Duvall has the tapes. He's
Yes.
there to get the payment. He just has to bring the pictures.
Right, Harrison Ford, he goes, you sent that lady here or whatever. And he goes, well, the director wants to see you now. And you can hear that he's listening to the tapes from outside the door. He enters the room, the office, the apartment, whatever it is. Harrison Ford is at the recorder playing the tapes, and Robert Duvall is just sort of absorbing it. I forgot Robbie D was in here, to be honest.
I was shocked. Because you don't see him right away. You kind of get like a behind side shot. And I was like, is that Robert Duvall?
And I'm thinking, God, I wonder if it's just because of the John Cazale and Robbie D. I wonder if they're both in here because of The Godfather.
I think that Francis Ford Coppola was absolutely like, these people are amazing actors.
This is where he sees a picture of Shirley on Robert Duvall's desk.
Jenny was like, is that his daughter? And I was like, I don't think so. I think it's his wife. It's his wife, right? Because I think Shirley's in her mid to late 20s, and Duvall I don't even think is 40. I think he just looks older with that hair.
Because later it feels more just like a corporate takeover, espionage sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. But Gene Hackman is under the impression, at least. And since he's our cipher, we're with him on this.
Joe Pantoliano?
Yeah, he wants a steak. Make me rich.
We want Mr. Anderson.
I'll give him to you.
Make me believe.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't fucking want this bullshit. Trinity won't let me put my limp penis on her. You know?
I keep zapping it with Tank's gun.
That works.
It doesn't do much.
Give me that Viagra in the Matrix.
Yeah, he wants that girl in the red dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To slap with his limp wiener.
Right. Fist is whole.
It's very sweaty, too.
Uh-huh.
It's weird. It's sticky. Huh. So he goes, what are you going to do to him, man?
It's like one of those sticky hands you slap on the wall. And, yeah.
I think they even gave him a little more money this time. And Gene Hackman goes, hey, what are you going to do to them? And he goes, you can leave now. He's like, fuck.
Don't forget to take a couple cookies.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. So he leaves, and he's just like, shit. He litters. But then he goes back to pick it up.
What does he litter?
The envelope that used to have the tapes in it.
No, he throws it.
It's like a plastic.
Ah!
Yeah. So he's weirded out because he's afraid now that more people will be murdered.
Oops, I did it again.
I got 2 people murdered.
Here comes 2 more, baby. We did it. We broke the internet.
We broke it. And so at this point, I want to say he just rides
that scooter around his loft for a couple hours.
Harrison Ford did call him at his apartment. And he's like, how the fuck did you get this number? You know?
I completed the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
Don't ask me questions. I'll shoot you first. And so now he's just like, I gotta actually go to this hotel and eavesdrop and maybe stop something.
Except for, it sure doesn't seem like that's what he's going to do once he's there. It almost seems like he's just there like, I'm going to record this and bust him, or just
I'm going to feel bad about this later. So he goes to the guy, hey, can I rent this room? And he goes, actually, sir, that room is rented. And instead of saying, oh, I was there on my honeymoon, do you have an adjacent room maybe? He goes, well, do you have anything else on that floor? Maybe an adjoining room? Have you noticed my plastic trench coat? And the guy goes,
Listen, you fuzzy little shithead. I've been fucked around in my time by a fairly good cross-section of mean-tempered, rule crazy cops. And now, it's my turn.
So he goes up there and he's on the balcony. He's trying to eavesdrop. And he can hear something, but he's not sure what. So then he goes into the bathroom. He's trying to listen through the vent, but he can't. And then he notices under the sink, there's a patched hole that had already been drilled.
Well, people like to meet up in hotels, and they somehow contort their body and stick their penis through the little hole of the wall. And on the other side, somebody sticks their head in there. They give that little bit of penis that comes out of the wall kisses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's a hole in the wall for inconvenient wall sex.
That sounds quite glorious.
Yes.
But it doesn't... am I missing something here?
Like, what do you mean?
Because I'm like, oh, that's how they got the recording. And I'm like, well, no, because he made the recording. So why is there a...
recording?
Exactly. Why is there a hole already in this wall?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's just from like room stuff. It has nothing to do with eavesdropping. They
so
just
it just
got to this
coincidentally happens to be a patched hole in the wall in the room he rented next to the one he's trying to eavesdrop in.
Why? I mean, couldn't you just drill through the wall as easily as you could through that plaster?
That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Why is this convenient hole here that he's able to easily punch through?
Well, maybe they already filmed it and it got all fucked up, so they repatched it so they could do another take.
Because I'm like, oh, did I miss? Did he pull a pipe or something off? No, it's just this hole, and so he drills through it, flushes the toilet twice to mask the sound.
What is the drill like going? Or is he just?
No, he's just putting
drill,
a file
right?
in.
Ding 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 ding.
I don't even think it's making noise. It's just the sound of it going through the wall that I think he's trying to mask.
People are like, "Oh my god, big rat!"
Exactly. So then he sticks like a turkey thermometer in the wall, which is apparently a listening device. And he's got his little radio, and he's hearing them talking. And
don't do the glass.
You should have smashed that fucking shit. I would have ripped my shirt open if you. But he's also, I think, either they're playing the tape in the room, and he's hearing that and them talking, or he's hearing them talking and he's remembering the tape.
Yeah, I don't think they're playing any. I don't know.
Remember, because he goes, she hears her say, "I love you," from the tape. But then he hears her talking. So I'm like, is that for our benefit so that we can say, oh, that's her? I mean, we know she's in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very
I mean,
odd.
does the confrontation require that audio? I guess maybe.
I thought maybe he was playing it and confronting her about it.
But it seemed like we were slipping into fantasy sequences a little bit because he has that stupid dream. That's goofy, but then also the toilet sequence that comes up soon.
So
it's like not believable.
So it sounds like there's a bit of a struggle or something going on, and he runs out to the balcony, and there's a glass divider.
This fucking impotent dork. He's just like, I don't know what to do. I'm listening.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go out here and listen and kind of look through the.
It's like frosted glass.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a hand presses up against it with blood.
Bloody, and he's like, oh my God, Cindy Williams. I'm so scared.
Because you can hear her also scream or something.
Wrapping up in this blanket with the TV on.
So yeah, he goes in and he closes the drapes and he wraps himself up like a burrito and he turns on the Flintstones and he's just there for several hours.
Till the next day, I think.
He wakes up, the TV's a little scatterbrained, he turns it off. I mean, there's a brief moment before he goes outside, I think, where he's actually listening against the wall. And that's where you see a map of San Francisco. And then he gets up the nerve and he goes, first he knocks on the door and then immediately drops to his knees and he starts picking the lock. Now, what if somebody would have answered it and he's just down on his knees? He didn't give it enough time.
Give it to pee-pee.
I just want to suck your dick. I work here.
Ah, man, it's one of them peep freaks.
I also shine your shoes. And so he goes into the room and it looks like a fresh hotel room.
Yeah, nothing happened in here. That was all hallucination, Mr. Hackman.
Yeah, and he goes, well, shit. And he starts touching the drain, and
I'm going to feel around here, see if a little bit of blood gets on my finger.
It's perfectly fine. And then he flushes the toilet.
Well, it's because there's that weird running water sound that he can't handle.
And
is that his conscience? It doesn't seem like it's real.
It's his brain dripping.
It's something's wrong with this toilet. I'm gonna flush it now.
Instead of the raven, he's haunted by the toilet.
Trickle, trickle.
The dripping.
It's where they
dripping
found
on my door.
that dead kid and the mom.
Mm-hmm. And he flushes it, and all of a sudden, it's the Shining elevators.
Yeah, it just starts pumping out blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. I don't care what you stuck in there. No.
And then toilet paper rises.
Yeah.
Also, so it's like
there was one ear that gave out gallons of blood.
Yeah, whatever was in there, either it's stuffed up and bloody, or it's stuffed up and not bloody. But the blood just overflowed. Ricky. Oh, Gene Hackman's losing his mind. That's the psycho sound. Ricky.
I was gonna say that's not the name of the kid in The Shining.
No, Daddy. Oh, Daddy, what are you doing? Fuck you. So he runs away.
Like a bitch?
He goes back to see the director. I'm sorry, sir. The director's not in right now.
I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. I'm just going to race up these stairs. No, we're too full grown.
No, don't do that. And then he turns around like he's going to walk away. And then he goes, I'm trying to get up anyways. And he goes, you fucker. And they boot him out.
They just pick him up and carry him downstairs.
Yeah, like a cardboard cutout. And
we're security. There's two of us, Hackman.
So he's outside, and he notices what looks, it's a limo. It's a blue limo, but it kind of feels diplomatic. Now, apparently, while filming The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola had often complained about having to ride in a station wagon with 4 other people to go to the shoots or whatever.
What a fucking thing to complain about.
And he made a deal with Paramount. If it had made a certain amount of money or whatever, they would buy him a car for the next movie. And so it made a certain amount of money. And then him and I forget who else, they go to a dealership and they just get that car and they're like, charge Paramount.
Limo?
Yeah. And apparently the dealership was like, oh, yes, we'll do that.
A limo's a terrible car to own.
It is. It kind of feels like it might be a Mercedes. So he notices the plates, which I think say like C1.
My car's inconveniently long. I drive it around. I don't get to sit in the back.
I have curtains. Yeah. Right. Like, does it come with a driver?
It's
like,
hard
what the fuck?
to drive. No.
So why would you buy that? Buy a fucking Beetlebug or something.
You buy that so you can make money driving other people around. Francis Ford Coppola, what the fuck?
So he Gene Hackman walks over to the car, and who's in it?
Cindy Williams.
Yeah. He goes, well, what the hell? You're not dead.
And she's like, is somebody looking at me?
Yeah, and she looks at him and he goes, oh, I'm just looking at you, but I'm not. And then he has a premonition.
Fuck, it all makes sense.
Of course, they were plotting to kill the director. They were saying he'd kill us to justify the fact that we got to kill him.
Yeah, well, it's actually pretty amazing when they reveal that audio. They played a different way, and they're like, well, he'd kill us if he had the chance.
Exactly. And that
we got to kill him. It's the right thing to do.
We're led to believe that the guy in the glasses comes out of the bathroom and wraps him up in a shower curtain.
Yeah, but are they like choking him or stabbing him also?
They must be, because he's bloody as fuck.
Maybe they bludgeon him.
Was Harrison Ford there?
I don't know that he's bloody as fuck. I don't know.
You know what happens? After he walks away, for some reason, then he's in the lobby of a building, and she's coming down the stairs. And there's, somebody's dead. He saw a photo in a paper about somebody being dead.
Yeah, it's
Cindy Williams. What are you going to take? You taking over now? You're the whatever? And
he's supposed to have been in a car accident.
He died in an accident.
Yeah.
Is that really what happened? You were just in a car moments ago, but now you're coming down some stairs. And the guy with the glasses is there. She looks at Gene Hackman. The guy with the glasses, she looks at him. He looks at Gene Hackman. And then Gene Hackman looks at Harrison Ford, who's also there.
And he's part of it, right?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. He's the director's assistant.
It seemed like he was trying to talk him out of something, but I guess he was just facilitating driving him to that hotel eventually.
If that's really what happened, because then Gene Hackman just has this fever dream.
I mean, that's definitely what happened, though, right? That's the whole point of the movie. It's not just made up.
So you kill him in a hotel, and then you put him in a car accident?
I'm not sure how you do that.
Seems like a lot of risky business.
Well, I mean, if you suffocate him and bludgeon him a little bit, and then you somehow get him out of there Like
you should have just met him on the side of the road somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, do that and then throw him in the car. Because he saw the blood, that's why I'm wondering if what we're seeing is, obviously it's him air quoting, piecing together what happened and visualizing it. But that may not necessarily be what happened. And then he's back at his apartment playing jazz, John Coltrane. And the phone rings.
Nobody's there. He answers it.
Yeah,
Nobody's there.
hello? Nothing.
Thought you didn't have a phone, Gene Hackman. You
Yep.
do.
And then it rings again.
Uh-huh.
And he answers it, hello? Hey, it's Han Solo. You hear about that Kessel run I did?
12 parsecs.
Mm-hmm. Beat that, Jack.
Now listen to this.
And he goes, hey, fucko. Don't fuck with us. You don't want to be involved in this, And he hangs up the phone. And there's actually a phone number on the phone, which I called. But it's a disconnected number.
Did you really call it?
I did.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Because I looked it up first, and it is, in fact, a San Francisco area code.
763-634-1897.
I'm like, now, maybe obviously 50 years ago, there may have, I don't even know if they would have bothered to have made that a real number. But normally in movies,
555.
It's anything but a real fucking number, Unless
7 Kevin 4.
You call and they go, hey, it's Gene Hackman. This is the conversation.
He doesn't just hang up. They play his saxophone playing back to him.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, they rewind the tape.
Because the music was
the
playing.
tape rewinding, and then it's what he was just doing in the apartment 3 seconds before.
Okay, because he left the music playing. I thought maybe that was the tape.
It was him and his sax. Bro.
Yeah, they're like, you suck, bro.
They're like, hey, we got you.
Don't give up your day job. So then he starts getting really nervous.
Yeah.
And he's got his racket. And he's checking the walls. What the hell? It takes off the radiator cover. What the hell?
Pulls down the lights, looks for
lights.
bugs.
He starts looking in the phone. He starts
peel off that wallpaper.
Smashing statues and trophies. And then
even
he goes
the
to the wallpaper.
Religious statues.
Eventually. First he's like, I can't do that.
No.
Starts taking off the wallpaper. The molding on the floor. And then he smashes in like the dumbest way. It's a statue. He starts punching it on a shelf, and the shelf collapses. And then he starts smashing it under a thing. Just smash it first. Who punches the statue?
It's very dumb because, hey, Gene Hackman, you saw the foam technology earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm watching this movie. You were in this movie.
Yeah, it's not a bug.
Yeah. You know that fucking Moran guy set you up.
So
with
he
that
just
hot puss.
decimates the apartment. He rips up every floorboard, the wallpaper, the molding, everything. And apparently clears it all out because it's empty, except for him. He's bopping, playing his music.
Yep.
His landlord's going to be so upset.
Well, she's a dick, so fuck her.
Yeah. And then the movie ends.
What do you think about John Cazale? Wait, you got something to say?
I would say it's interesting seeing a movie that the credits last for approximately 45 seconds. And then it's over.
I wouldn't know. I just turn it off immediately when I realize it's over.
It just stopped. Once it got to the music, I went back to looking at something for work, and then all of a sudden it stopped. I'm like, what the hell? And I rewound it, and I went, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just this guy wrote it, this guy directed it, this guy was in it. We filmed it in San Francisco, and later, folks, no mid-credits, post-credits scene of Gene Hackman fighting Thanos, or
people breaking into his long abandoned apartment and finding the tapes.
I like John Cazale in here. He's not in The Godfather that much.
No, he really isn't.
But he's good in there.
He's powerful.
He's got range, considering how little he's in there.
Yeah.
Not so much in here.
In this one, he's just a fucking guy. He's a guy who's kind of sad and dejected.
Yeah.
But then you get like little glimpses of him being like kind of a cool, chill dude when he's like, now, nope, the way we do it is this. When they're drinking.
I think he's fine in here.
It's interesting to see a completely different note than, he's not the fucking murderous guy on NYPD who just wants to get laid, but sometimes has to kill.
Yeah.
He's not fucking dim-witted Fredo. He's just a dude. But he's really a sweetheart that's just looking for a connection with the guy he admires. He's proud of the work they do together.
I wonder how they met.
I wonder if it's maybe through these conventions.
What drives... Yeah, man. There's just so, like, interesting subculture to this that I wonder... was Francis, like, interested in these things?
I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's dated now, but it's it seems well researched and interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, you see stuff like this now.
Well, I think it's probably all very derivative of this.
Now it's super futuristic, almost. But I mean, even like Mission Impossible, stuff like that, kind of feels like, I don't even know. Does that predate this? Probably.
Mission Impossible, a TV show.
Yeah,
I think that's like the 60s.
There was just this weird... Everybody was coming to terms with the fact, I think, that they were starting to realize that the government was spying on them.
Yeah.
The Pentagon Papers and all that shit. So it's interesting to see... God, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the movie?
I like this movie.
What did you give, John? Did we do scores yet?
I don't think we did a score.
Okay. What would you give, John? Just thinking about it.
Man, I don't know. I mean, like a 6.5 or a 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does the job well. I think that I connect with this guy a little bit. He's not in it a ton. I see some different shades of him, and I find him interesting. But I'm not like, holy shit, look what this guy's doing.
Right.
It's just like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, I think he's in it just as much as Harrison Ford is.
Sure.
I'd land on a 6.5 as well.
Yeah.
I think you're right. He is just an average Joe.
He's a very solid...
But you believe it.
Not second banana, but, you know.
He's just George Costanza.
He's not like Hackman.
In a lot of ways.
Okay.
You know?
What do you give this movie?
That's a tough one. I enjoy it. I remember you messaged me. You said, boy, I couldn't finish that last 30 minutes.
I was so tired. I
was in bed eating pretzels.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to that last 30-minute mark right when he first gets to the hotel. And I'm just like, I'm going to fall asleep.
I don't think I was quite to the hotel. Yeah, I couldn't do that last chunk.
I got to turn this off, man.
I think it's a good movie, but it's very muted and low-key that if you are even a little bit tired, it will unleash it upon you.
Well, and not only that, but if you are even just a little bit unattentive or inattentive? Inattentive? Like the recording that you mentioned. I thought it was just the radio, but it probably was the recording.
Absolutely.
I completely missed that.
We got the drop on you. That's why he's looking for bugs.
I know he's looking for bugs because something's going on with the phone, but...
No, because they had a recording of him right there.
Yeah. I didn't catch, right? So it's very easy, and it's a quiet movie, too.
It's real chill.
Good Lord.
I think that's actually... I find that to be a real plus. I really like the vibe of this. It made me sleepy.
Because the jazz is sort of loud, but it isn't until that hand hits the fucking window that it just blasts your ass out with the sound effects. It's like fucking an hour and a half you're just going, and all of a sudden, wow, you're like, whoa, man. But yes, to say a long story short, yes to that.
I feel like this movie's maybe blown a little bit out of proportion.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't end up being like a giant, wow! It's nothing super crazy happens. It's a low-key story about a murder, a corporate takeover.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing super crazy happening.
No.
Just a plot of murder. It's a small story.
In a lot of ways, I guess, and I haven't actually seen the whole movie from nuts to bolts, but I'm getting like Chinatown vibes.
Oh, I think this is probably much more satisfying than Chinatown.
Yeah, but there's that slow burn. I'd give this a 7.
I would
7.5.
Oh, really?
I think
I would give it a 7 based on how much. Yeah, I was really able to kind of bathe.
It's tough, man.
I could bathe in it nicely while I was watching it. I wish I wasn't so tired.
Yeah,
Jenny, I could tell, was bored out of her fucking mind.
Yeah, Callie was 15 minutes out.
We were watching it, and I was like, "What are you thinking? You want to give it on 1 to 10?" And she's like, "I'm not gonna do that." And I really pushed it, and she's like 6. I was like, "Oh, very interesting."
That's pretty good. We
talked about it for a few minutes. She's like 5.
Yeah.
Once we really does like, okay, yeah, 5 5 matches how you look.
Yeah, because Callie had so many questions and observations about the opening sequence. And I'm like, you can't miss this because this is the movie. So she was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
I mean, it's a fairly straightforward movie, though, right?
Absolutely.
But I guess you are trying to, like, piece together what the fuck is going to happen. But really, it's just we're tailing them. Turns out they're going to kill Robert Duvall.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford's in on it. There you go. I have quite a lot of respect for Francis Ford Coppola at this point. All right. Hit us up on Instagram, Reddit, YouTube, Facebook. We do them filmographies. Stick a little at gmail.com on there, and you can email us. You want to give us a phone call? 763-634-1897. Yeah? Nice.
Oh.
Do you want to call us?
Yeah, give us a call.
We like that.
You know, tell us what you like. Not necessarily even just about the show, but, you know, who do you watch? Do you watch filmographies or do you just not? I'd be curious to know.
Yeah, I mean, we got this stupid hotline.
Yeah, fuck.
Put some shit on
It's costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Fuck. I got this house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Triple mortgaged it to get this phone line.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's left any messages on.
No, and that's just it. If there aren't messages, then your loan defaults.
Yeah, and we're just sitting around eating imaginary sandwiches because we can't afford real sandwiches.
Yeah, and I'm like, why would you set up that deal?
Right.
I mean, obviously you want the phone line. I get that. But the default part.
I've just been grabbing fistfuls of grass and stuffing it up my dog's ass to give him some sort of nutrition.
Yeah.
So he doesn't kill us.
Yeah. So please help him out.
Please. We'll see you next week with The Godfather.
Part 2. Yeah. The Godfathering.
I can't do the music. Can you do the music with your voice? That's pretty good. All right. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.